Careful. Careful, careful. That's it.
It's all good.
Justin? Hey, Justin? Justin, can you hear me? Justin, you okay? Justin? Justin, can you hear me? Justin? Hey, baby, oh, please, wake up. Justin!
We are Si and Sophie. This is Coastal News, a home and away podcast, your weekly episode companion podcast for your favourite Aussie soap.
The end is near.
Oh,
The end.
the writing is
Yeah.
literally on the wall. Was that a clue?
Yeah,
Kidding.
it was
Yeah.
well, I thought it was a very hilarious. I thought someone's having a giggly.
Oh
with
yeah,
this.
that prop
Yeah.
that prop department was laughing that day, I think.
Will Justin perish? We are fresh off
Mm.
the season finale of the UK here. How are you doing, Sophie? You okay?
I'm good, thank you. How are you doing?
Well, I'm well. Thanks for
Yeah.
asking.
Good.
I feel like I've not spoke to you for ages.
I know. It feels like forever. Oh
Life's
dear.
been a bit mad.
Yeah. Good though.
Zara.
Good mad.
It's good mad. Mad Maz. Right. This means, however, that this is our season finale. Season 3 of Coastal News. We've done a whole other season. What a year it has been. How have we got here? Like,
I don't know. It's mad. We started off this year with Heather and the old kidnapping, afternoon tea drugs tied to a chair thing, didn't we? I think is that where we started off the beginning of the year? I think it was.
yeah, tumbling off that.
Yeah, that
Yes.
ledge.
Yeah,
Yeah.
which is balmy when you think about it, when you think what's gone on in between.
Yeah.
And that does not feel like 12 months ago.
No, it doesn't.
Can't be the only ones that
It's
feel like
mad.
this.
And poor Leah, I'm not being funny, but this time last year she was tied to a chair, drugged, kidnapped, and now she's locked in some factory somewhere. Kidnapped again. How many times can one person be kidnapped in 12 months?
Has she been kidnapped? We know nothing. We know
Well,
nothing.
They
at
did
this
say
stage.
that those pesky cult people have left us here to die. That was the one line that gave us a little bit of an idea what was going on. Yeah. Oh dear.
Those pesky cult kids.
Yeah.
So I guess we're going to talk the next hour or so. We're going to talk about what UK season finale. What an amazing last few episodes we've just had. And we're going to be giving you all our thoughts as well as your own in your Say on the Bay. So stay tuned for that. Before we get into it, couple of things. Do you remember we've been doing this side hustle, this versus?
Oh yes, with Neighbours. Neighbourhood
results-
Rewatch. Yeah.
Results are in, aren't they, Sophie?
They are. I can't believe them. I keep pinching myself. What? It was we did best deaths, didn't we? So we pitted 5 home and away deaths versus 5 neighbours deaths with a versus episode with the boys from Neighbourhood Rewatch, didn't we? And you guys voted. It wasn't even on us. It was, the results had nothing to do with us, really. Because you guys out there, bless you for listening and bless you for voting. You voted for. It was in the
Casey
final.
Bratt.
Casey.
As your best soap death, pitted all the other options to the final, and was head to head with D somebody or other.
D Blissful. Bloody Blissful. Yeah, something like that.
Blissfully lost.
Blissfully not
know.
dead. Not dead.
Even dead, so I mean, the right winner won. We're biased, obviously.
Well, ours was actually dead, so I think we did win best death in terms of best stayed dead death. I think.
Yes, yeah,
Yeah,
that's
but
right.
it was good fun, and congrats to the Neighbours lads, because I really enjoyed that episode. If you haven't listened to it, go back and listen, because we got to hear about Neighbours' deaths. We thought Home and Away was mad for death counts and creative ways to die. Let's put it that way. But the Neighbours lot, they've got equally crazy stuff going on in their stories.
It's fascinating. I know we're doing like a fun, jovial versus not bad neighbours, but it's quite fun hearing the story, and some of these characters because they're in the sort of public conscience. So it is great fun to get on and learn about it, and so it's 1-1 as well. So now it's like all to play for. So Lord knows what we'll come up with next. So go and check the episode out. Round 2 went to Team Home and Away. Well done. Thanks, everybody. And yeah, keep your eyes and ears peeled. Even though we're going to be on a end of season break, I think there's still going to be something going on with that, because we've got plenty of time to get something going. Yeah. Another thing I need to remind you of, and I remind you every week at the moment, is that we are doing a live event. Oh my God, where's that?
Manchester.
Oh my God, and when is that?
March. We should have rehearsed this. Damn it.
You're really good at on-the-spot stuff. So, the link to book your free space is in the episode description of this podcast episode. Make sure you do if you really want to go. We only have now very limited space left. And we are now hard at work. More so now we have a break from the podcast for a few weeks over December period, pulling together what the day is going to look like. We're really excited, aren't we, about what's going to go on. And more detail will emerge soon about that. But yeah, get your free space booked. It's in Manchester. It's in March. Do not miss out. I would hate you to miss out. And we'd want to see as many of you as we can. Right. For the last time, season 2023.
End of an era. End of an era.
It feels like that this time round. Last year we were like, yeah. Do you want your headlines?
I do.
Dana secures a new job and her place in the middle of a war. Is Marley's promised wife just a game player? Tani and Felicity are on the baby merry-go-round again. And the excitement of Justin and Leah's 5-star luxury retreat comes crashing to the ground.
Oh, dear, literally, yes. Love it.
Please take the time to like, subscribe, and review Coastal News wherever you source your podcasts, and ensure you never miss an episode.
Right. Can you grab your stopwatch?
Do you know what? I'm actually prepared this week and I've got it. Would you believe? I haven't got to run off to the spare room and grab one. I'm good.
Let's check. One of us has a watch and who's doing what. Okay. Are you ready? Are you ready for lyric in a minute?
We almost got away with a lyric-free week, and then Kirby bloody popped up again, didn't she? So yeah. Oh well, we'll have to just get it over with, guys. Just if you don't want to hear about lyrics, skip for a minute. But here we go.
However, it was palatable this week.
Yeah.
And it should lot. Are you ready?
Yeah.
3, 2, 1. Kirby's launch day of her new single/album/solo career has arrived, and Forrest has got everything covered. All Kirby's got to do is turn up looking glam. And one quick chat with Theo, she's all good. Bit of nerves, weren't they, at the beginning? She doesn't think she can do it. It's weighing on her mind that Remy and Eden are not on board, and I think that thought is starting to creep in again, just in time for, obviously, what's supposed to be the most amazing chapter of her career. You know, it's foreshadowing it's going to all be messed up. Even though it's different without the band support, she plows on, and the venue looks great. There's flowers everywhere. Justin and Lee have even sent flowers from their 5-star retreat. And wow, I was just looking at it thinking, swanky. Theo does have a chat with Eden and Remy and says, look, are you going to hold a grudge forever? She needs us there, and if it was any of us, she'd be there for us. And it works. They turn up at the last moment, just as she's going on stage to sing what I think is her first single. Not very
Stop.
okay. There we go.
Sorry, I feel really rude having to do that.
And very, very quickly, she decides she wants to go back and lyric again. See you next year.
Yeah.
Bye.
Thank God we're having a break because, anyway.
Should we talk about Harper and Dana? They're thinking about their future as well, elsewhere in the Bay. And Dana's up for putting down roots, isn't she, in the Bay? Wants to stick around. Remember, she's the nurse, now cleared of any sort of drug charges. But it's still going to be difficult to find work. There's only so many nurse jobs in the hospital, I heard someone say. You could have fooled. Harper's not so simple. Her career belongs in the city. You remember, she's the social worker, and and that's where her boss is. So things are a bit up in the air about whether these two are sticking about at this stage. And actually, I was thinking, watching these scenes where they were deciding what to do and all the rest of it, and as it would happen, Rue's looking for a private nurse. I thought, that's just fallen into. I was looking at this thinking, these two feel like they've been around longer than they have. Do you get that feeling?
Yeah,
is it just me?
I feel like I know Harper better than Dana at the moment. I feel like Dana's still a bit of an enigma because obviously the only thing we really knew about her was that she was in hiding and she wasn't very good at that. And she kept nipping out of the bedroom and going for a walk, didn't she? So I don't feel like I really know Dana. And Harper seems to be like her mom, like buying her a phone and telling her to get a job. And the dynamic of that relationship is a bit weird. And then she's, when Harper finds out that her job is no longer available, and she tells Irene, and she goes, "Oh, I haven't told Dana yet." And it's like Dana's her child. So I don't feel that drawn to Dana at the moment because I feel like she needs her own personality and not just being bossed around. I don't know. I don't feel as attached to her, but I do like Harper. And it's nice to see Harper have scenes with Flick and Tane and other people now.
Yeah, I was going to say the same thing. Harper is starting to, widen her scope amongst the Bay, isn't she? Not just Cash and Irene. She's now at the bar drinking, and she's joining in, and she's having conversations, like you say, with Flick about, because she's worried about what's going on with them, and he's drinking and knocking them back on in the week. You're right. I sort of agree with you with Dana when you compare the two. However, talk about this storyline this week. Dana sort of applies because she's looking for a nursing job, and I've mentioned Rue's looking for a nurse. So of course Irene goes, "Aha, girly, 2 and 2 make 4 in this." And gets her an interview with Rue, and of course Rue snaps her hand off despite her her charges and her criminal past, because she just needs Marilyn out of the way, doesn't she? So and so these scenes where she's at Rue's, she's not with Harper, she's at Rue's and she's interviewing and she's doing that whole supportive. I saw the making of what might be a great character here. I was looking at it thinking, there's something here. I think she's going to be one to watch. I don't know. Maybe
I hope so. I think you're right. She was certainly more adult than we've seen her with Harper. With Harper, she acts like a little overgrown child that needs to be told, "Here's a phone," or "Don't use that phone because that phone will trace it back to you," or whatever. When she's making all those stupid decisions when she was on the run. And then a little bit at the beginning of this week, she felt like a child again. Like Harper was like, "Oh, here's a phone because you allowed one now," and I was like, "Get your own phone." Like, it's just, I don't know. But then, like you say, with Rue, she's been a sort of good support for her. When Rue was upset and she was saying, "Tell me what's wrong," and, sit at the table, I'll get you a cup of tea, you talk about it. And then, suggesting, "Well, how about you do this?" Or "Don't feel bad about cutting people off if it's for your own good," and things like that. And I thought she is quite sensible. It's just, I'm finding it hard to separate the two because she then goes back to Irene's and she's jumping around like a 2-year-old again.
But I wonder if Harper brings that out in her. Like when
Yeah.
someone sort of
Yes.
changes their behaviour because they never give them a chance.
Yeah,
Do
that's
you-
right.
I mean, does Harper sort of smother her a bit? And I'm not sort of blaming Harper for anything here. I'm not just because it sounds like she's made some bad choices, hung around with some bad people, and she needed a bit
Yeah.
of
Yeah.
direction. Do you know what I mean? That's over now though. Like, and the girl's not a child. I'm hoping we get to see her sort of transition away from that. One I'm keeping my eye on, and I'll probably keep badgering you about it.
No, it's good. It's good. No, I think I hope you're right. I'm going to say I hope you're right. So your prediction for 2024 is that Dana becomes a bit more integrated into the Bay, a bit more adult, a bit more fleshed out as a character.
I mean, at one point, I thought she might be moving in to Summer Bay House.
Sensible,
like,
wouldn't it? When she said, "Oh, you need a carer for 24/7, Rue, because that's what your care plan says." Like, the condition of you leaving hospital was that someone would be with you the whole time. And obviously, she said, "I'll do days because, you've paid me to come and be your nurse during the day. But what about at night?" And I thought, well, move out, and then Irene could move in with Marilyn could move in with Irene and have your room. Because she's kind of temporarily squatting at Leah's at the moment, isn't she, really?
Absolutely, yeah.
It's a bit weird. So I thought, why doesn't Dana move in with Rue? And then she doesn't have to pay board because she's just going to be her nurse. I don't know.
That's what I thought that was what we were getting. And then it means Harper and Dana aren't so joined at the hip. Maybe it'll come. Maybe it'll come.
Yeah.
Did like as well, because obviously Rue's got upset, because she did try to intervene a bit, with the whole Rue and Maz war, and she says to Maz, I think she needs a friend, but Maz goes and cocks the whole thing up second she walks in the door.
I know. I've been screaming at Marilyn all week. Actually, have you?
Yeah.
It's been like just leave, leave her alone. Every 5 minutes she's popping in, only me, and I'm like, she's literally told you to rack off. So why are you there again? And then telling her everything, like, oh, Dana says you're doing well. No, Marilyn, stop giving your opinion on her life. Just give her some space. Oh, she just can't help herself, can she? I love her.
For me,
but
I found Marilyn frustrating for the reason that I'm a bit like, okay, like where's the gutsy Marilyn gone who was threatening to ring Mr. Stewart last week?
Yes.
Now she's like, take your things and leave your keys. And she's like, okay. And I'm like, well, you were telling her to do one, or you're going to just ring Mr. Stewart and tell him at this stage. Do you know what I mean?
I would have. I think I would have rang him and said, by the way, just letting you know, I'm moving in with Leah. Why? Because Ruse took me out. I think I would have by now. He's been gone long enough. He's had a break. You know what I mean?
He's going to hit the roof when he gets back.
Yeah, they can't hide it forever. He's not going to be Marinda forever, is he? So he's got to have to come back soon and find out anyway. And then he's going to be furious that no one told him.
The whole Bay knows at this stage.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really, really... Unless somebody else does tell Mr. Stewart, and that's how Marilyn gets away from the whole breaking trust thing and with Rue. Talking about Marilyn a lot and our frustrations with Marilyn, but obviously none of this will be happening if Rue was a half decent, warm-blooded human.
That's true. That's true. Oh, actually, this thing that Palmer's organising for Mr. Stewart, this long service thing, he's organising a party, so Mr. Stewart must be coming home soon.
Yeah, well, and if he comes home for this, whatever this shindig is, and it all kick off, innit? True soap style. People.
Poor John, he's done all these slideshows and cake, and it's all going to get overshadowed by Rue.
Irene sounds like she's doing her lion's share of the work.
Not true. Can you just cost it all up for me, darling? Get some catering. Make a cake.
Sure. That stuff down.
I haven't got a job and a house full of people to look after. It's fine.
And
also, I might be going to prison.
The shadows. waiting for the police to knock at the door.
Oh God, I know. Reenie.
Oh, bless her. Yeah. Arrested in the season finale, she was arrested.
Awful. That was absolutely. I can't believe Rose just stormed into the diner and did it there.
Considering last night she's rustling her up her favourite burger and she's saying, "Don't worry about it, it'll be fine." Literally, Rose, like, this is smart. Oh, when Rose, this reminded me of when Rose did Mr. Stewart for speeding.
Oh yes.
Back and Cash was giving her a bit of a lecture about small town policing, and he's like, you deal with things a certain way. All she had to do was come along to Irene first and be like, Irene, like, they want you in, you know, like,
yeah,
I was wrong, like, they want you in, like, can you come down the police station for me? No scene, like, we'll try and make this as painless as possible. Like, we've got to do it, no option. Small, quiet. No, she storms in there in uniform with some other bloke in uniform in front of the whole diner. You're under arrest, a big show. And I'm thinking, who needs friends when you've got Rose? Jeez, wept. Right. Like, how would you deal with that situation?
Oh, not good. Oh, yeah. It's her business at the end of the day, isn't it? So Irene owns this business. Nobody in there knows that Irene was doing a bad thing for a good reason. They just see that the owner of the business has been arrested in front of their eyes. You fill in the blanks, don't you, when you don't know them? You assume she's a bad person because bad people get arrested. That's not an unfair thing to assume. I'd just be furious. I'd just be like, are you trying to ruin me?
Yeah.
Especially because it's not some copper that you've not met before. It's a copper that you spoke to last night who reassured you drunkenly and you made a burger for. It's not like some stranger copper. I'd be furious if I was Irene.
Spitting fire. And literally, some rag like the Coastal News would be lapping that up tomorrow morning.
It'll be front page news. It will. It'll be diner owner behind bars. Yeah, not good. It's reputational in a small town like that. It doesn't matter the truth because what will get out is that she's been arrested.
I couldn't believe what I was seeing. I really couldn't. And I don't know whether it was to cause. It was a very dramatic scene. It was to cause a bit of tension. But whether it's going to set up some sort of, disagreement going forward. I mean, we're now going to have to wait till January. So
I know.
But Rose and Xander. There are other people, Irene took them under her wings when they arrived in the bay. Is betrayal for me. Like, maybe I'm being a little sensitive on Irene's behalf, but if I was in Irene's shoes right now, I agree with you. I think she would be absolutely distraught that Rose could do to her. Just saying, speak to you. I was kind of ring her and say, "Can I speak to you somewhere private for a minute?"
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, God, so it looks like John's going to have to do more work for House Service Award than he thought.
Oh, yeah.
Can we say as well, why is Alf getting a long service award all of a sudden? Just reading between the lines here.
I don't know. I don't want to overthink it because I don't want to. I don't want to overthink it, but it's a lifetime achievement award essentially for the surf club. But does that mean he's retiring from the surf club? He's going to be in Merimbula more often. We're not going to see him as often. Is it a way of writing him out of the show a bit more? I don't want to think about it, but yeah.
Bit random, isn't it? If it doesn't mean something, so I'll have to put a pin in it.
Oh, I've just remembered something that someone told me, and I haven't checked this yet because we've literally just watched the last 2 episodes and then come on the pod, haven't we? But when Rose went into the diner to arrest Irene, someone on I think it was on Facebook that I saw said the other copper that was with Rose is wearing Angelo's police badge because it says A Rosetta or something on it. I need to go and have a look. I need to go and have a look at the episode because I was like, what? I don't whether it's like a wardrobe thing because that's the only other badge they've got, and they've just gone, "Oh, stick this on." I don't know, or whether
Yeah.
it's on purpose.
Yeah, but is it a little Easter egg so people like you and I go, whoa?
Maybe. I'm gonna have to go online and have a look myself because I was like, I need to go and check this out. But I literally saw it before I came on here.
So funny if that's true.
Yeah,
That's just playing with us now.
I'll have to get us a photo. I'll tweet it. If it's true, I'll tweet it out. But yeah, I was like, what?
Right, should we talk about this promised wife?
Go on then.
If we want. Okay, right. So she's been up all night having late night chats with Marley. You'll remember last week. I want us to get back together. You said you'd wait for me after uni, blah, 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 blah. Let's make our parents proud. He was saying the parents aren't really that serious about it. What you've been smoking, girl. So next morning, you know, Rose is a bit like, something's off. You know, something's going on. You know, what?
Yeah.
And she asks him out, like, to be fair to her, like, what's gone on between you two? And,
Nothing.
yeah, he's taken it in like an accusatory way. And she's like, yeah, but something's awkward, something's off. I can feel it. So he's then forced to say, you know, she wants to get back together, which obviously sends Rose into a spin. And then just to add insult to injury, she's knocking around them all the time and saying stupid things like, remember when your brother walked in and I was in that?
It's so weird.
No,
They've
that's
got
what
no
she's doing.
filter.
I know, she's here to break them up.
Yeah.
And I'm, at this point, it's a question I've written down here to ask you. Like, ask Sophie.
Ooh.
Has the mum sent her to split them up?
I am inclined to think she has, or the sister, one of the two, because she's on the phone to them. It's just really creepy. Sorry, this is really creepy. She's on the phone to the mum. So you know when I think it was when Xander, you know, she was grilling Xander, wasn't she? And she was saying, how long have they been a couple for? Why haven't they moved in together? And I was like, ask Marley. It's not it should be on Xander to explain all this. And he said too much, didn't he? Because he was saying, oh, I don't know how long they've been going out because they had a break. And she's like, oh, they had a break. What was it about? And he's like, I'm not telling you, but they're fine now. And she's hearing all this, isn't she? She goes outside thinking, and in her mind, then I think she's thinking, oh, they're a bit rocky. They're not the perfect couple. You know, they split up before. She's a cop. I can use that. You know, she was really excited when she found out that does Marley's family know that she's a cop? Yeah, they do. Oh, okay. You know, she's trying to find anything she can use against them. And after that conversation with Xander, she walks out and sees them kissing, doesn't she? And the next scene, she's on the phone to Marley's mum. So she's literally dobbed him in and gone, oh, I'm here with him and it's really weird because his girlfriend's here and oh, I don't know what to do and I think I should leave. And then he's been henpecked by his mum, hasn't he? To keep her there and be nice to her. Oh, it just drove me mad. Why is she calling his mum? It's been 5 years. And also, another thing I picked up on that conversation when she talked to Xander, she said, I graduated 6 months ago with a law degree. Okay, so he told you that he would wait for you during uni. Okay, whatever. That's 5 years that we know of. But she's been out of uni for 6 months and she hasn't seen him yet.
Suspicious.
I don't get this. Why now? What's triggered? It's got to be the fact that Marley is now dating this copper. His mum doesn't like it and she's gone, what can I do about it? Oh, there's the ex. Send her around. I'm suspicious. It's a bit weird, isn't it? Let's face it.
And also, why does Marley's mum have this sort of puppet master type control over her adult children? I get it, cultural family ties, it's very important, but like he's literally scared of her. Like he's scared of her on the phone. Like to me, something doesn't fit here. Doesn't fit right.
It's controlling, isn't it? It's not family concern. It's more of a control thing. And I think at the end of the day, if your child is happy, I mean, he obviously is. He's got this nice life in the Bay. She doesn't really want him there, but I think as a parent, you have to step back and say, well, he's not what I wanted for him, but he's actually happy. And ultimately, that's all you can ask for, isn't it? He's not there. He's like crying, miserable, hates his job, doesn't really like his girlfriend. You know what I mean? As far as she's aware, he's got this thriving business. He's enjoying himself. He's got, he's made friends. He's integrated himself into the Bay. He's got Rose. He's happy there. You know, they had that lunch with him, with his mum, and he said how he felt about her and that he loved her. So I think you just have to step back and go, it's not the choice I would make for him, but if he's happy, I have to go with it.
Yeah, I completely concur. And actually, I could even understand her being like, I'm so disappointed in you. You know, this is your heritage. This has been agreed since you were very young.
Yeah.
You two will have children and, you know, bring up the next lineage, you know, and carry that on. And I understand her saying all that to him, but to send someone to break up his relationship and to hurt somebody else's feelings, to me, she's now down in my estimations. And I just don't think you can excuse that kind of behavior with, but this is what we in our culture. I just don't think you can.
No, because I think ultimately it's going to cause a rift between him and his family. I mean, he's already moved away from them, and now, you know, they're going to end up pushing him away even further, like emotionally, aren't they?
Yeah, you're right. Physically, he's miles away, and then now, just don't answer the phone.
I know. Well, he hasn't got a choice when Zara's passing it to him. It's your mum. And by the way, I told you to still drink out of the milk bottle. I was just like, piss off. Just piss off. I don't like you. Who turns up knowing that someone's got a girlfriend, moves in, doesn't says, I'm just going to stay here for a bit. No specifying of how long she's going to stick around for. And then, like you say, these awkward conversations where she's basically going, oh, remember that time we had sex and your brother walked in on us? What? I don't. It's weird. Like, who does that?
Who does that? Paul Rose thinks he's kicking her out.
Yeah.
But because Mum's clicked her fingers, he's had to go and tell Rose that she's staying, and like that goes down like a cup of cold sick. Like, who is Marley, man? Grow a backbone.
And not really funny, but this girl's obviously got, she comes across as having a lot of self-esteem, doesn't she? Because she's like, oh, I'm going to get him back. I'm going to tear him away from his girlfriend. You've got to be quite self-confident to think you could do that. But on the other hand, she's got no self-esteem because he was saying like, well, I'd ask you to leave, but I can't because my mum says you have to stay. I wouldn't. I've got more respect for myself than to stay in a house where someone doesn't want me. But she doesn't care. She just stays there. I don't get it. So is she that confident that she thinks that he'll change his mind? Oh, I just don't get it. I don't understand. I think. I know it's obviously the storyline is rooted in his heritage and his family, and it's nothing like my family, so I can't really relate to it. So it will feel weird. But I still think if you put all of that aside, I still think it's really strange thing to do as a human being. Never mind. I mean, an ex-girlfriend turning up and just acting like, I'm going to get you back. I don't care if you're happy with your girlfriend. It doesn't matter. I'm going to get you. It's just really weird. It's a bit psychologically wrong, isn't it?
Yeah. It's funny you mentioned psychologically, because I think the way this is going to go is the more it doesn't work, the more all she comes up against and the more resistance she experiences with it, the more turned up the notch is going to be.
Yeah.
I
think
we'll see her sort of, oh, my underwear there on the floor. Like she's going to be doing all sorts of stupid things to make it look like Marley's bad.
Yeah.
Rose, you know what I mean?
Yeah, she could either kind of orchestrate it to make it look like he's cheated on her so that it caused a massive argument, or she could do the whole damsel in distress thing, like, oh, I've been run over by a car, like that kind of, help me, look after me. Like, oh God, you're right. It's going to go full soap bottle crazy girlfriend thing, isn't it?
And then when he's hugging her, calming her down, she's like smirking over his shoulder.
Yeah, I've got him. He's hugging me. He must like me. Oh God, no! She's gonna be a psycho, isn't she? Psycho.
That's our prediction. Another prediction for 24. Get it written down. We'll
My
forget
pen.
this.
Pen's running out. Yeah.
Right, Tani and Flick trying to grab a bit of afternoon delight over the other side of the bay.
Why do they
the
not?
hand-
Literally, yes. Jamie on Twitter was like, "Did you see the set wobble?" I was like, "No." I went back and watched it. I've put a clip on there because I was like, "He's right." It like I think she throws Tani up against the wall, and the wall just goes, "No." It's so funny. I know he's got broad shoulders, but it's a wall. Well, it should be, It's not really a wall. It's probably plywood or something. But
we've heard, other little behind the scenes snippets in the past. When Cash broke a wall, flipping it. So you never know.
Yeah.
These accidents do happen during filming.
So funny. It's hilarious.
But yeah, they're giving it a go, aren't they? You remember that they sort of agreed to move on after Babygate, we'll call it.
Yeah.
They were, Felicity, the red line. It's not for now anyway, which we discussed on last week's podcast that was the worst thing she could have said, actually. It's probably made things 10 times. It's probably why we've ended up here, actually, in my opinion, is that she didn't sort of shut it down and give him time to get over it. He still has hope. And oh Lord, he got hope. And he's feeling a bit down in the dumps about it, Tane. Something's not right. Flick's trying to get on with things.
Oh, did you notice? Did you notice that Tane wasn't himself? Because everybody else noticed but Flick. I was keeping a tally at one point. I was like, John noticed, Carper noticed, Cash noticed. When's his wife going to know? I was literally about to put a bet on Twitter about when's Flick going to notice her husband's miserable.
Getting the odds on. She's very wrapped up in herself. We know this. She's, if she's decided, not thinking about it, nobody else is. You know what she's like. But yes, I did notice. So put me down.
I'll add you to the list.
She does actually make Cash babysit him, so she's not completely oblivious, is what I was going to say. But
no, it's the other way around. She makes Tane babysit Cash. She's worried about Cash because he's got no job.
That's right. Sorry, my mistake. Let me go again.
She shouldn't even notice about Tane.
Concerned about Cash. That's right, because Cash is loitering around the house, ruining said afternoon delight. Right, I got there in the end. Right. Oh gosh,
it's hard to keep up with them, honestly. But yeah, she said something to Tane. She sent Cash out to get the bins or something. She's like, "It's bin day. Go make yourself useful," because he's, like you say, he's hanging around like a bad smell. I don't know what to do with myself because I've got no job. Get a hobby. Get in bed, watch Netflix. I did laugh though because there was one scene, actually talking about Netflix. There was one scene this week with Cash when he was on his own in the house and everybody else was either at the band house or at Salt or wherever. Yeah. And Flick comes home and Cash is cross-legged on the sofa and you can hear the TV in the background. He's watching Police Chase documentary or something. Yeah. I was like, you can't switch it off, can you? He's watching like police camera action or something, I think, in the background. That did make me laugh. But yeah, she's like, take the bins out. You babysit him. I'm going to work. I don't want to see you there. I'm busy. So
yeah, he might have been watching Home and Away because that's not something like that's normally on at 7 on 5 Star. If it's not the one where people are popping pimples.
Oh, that's gross. That program. I can't even watch the advert for that. But no.
Comes on after Home and Away at 7 o'clock.
So gross. It's the landlord one sometimes, isn't it? Landlords in
tenant, slum landlord.
Yeah. Yeah. All the good stuff.
As you can tell, we don't stick around long. So I did like though that this sort of babysitting ends up being a bit of like a heart-to-heart between the two of them, and they both are offering each other support, which transpires as beers at Salt support because they're not beers, and they've decided to deal with their problems like men and go get hammered. So off they go down Salt, where they run into Harbour, who's sort of doing the same thing because she's just learned that she can't have a job back in the city, and her sister Dana has got this amazing new job looking after the Wicked Witch of the West. So she's in there also trying to go sorrow, so they all end up having a drink together. And I do love that Tane's just smashed, and he just wants them all to stay out all night. And did you see that line? You know, how'd you laughing? That line where he says, "Oh, come on, stay out. It's not like you've bunny any of us have got jobs to go to in the morning."
I thought that was brilliant. Why not? You're unemployed, right? Oh wow. Way to kick someone when they're down, Tane. Bless him. He just wanted to get smashed, didn't he? He just wanted the world to burn for a night. Bless him. He just wanted to let his hair down, I think. He doesn't do that very often, does he, Tane?
He's just trying to forget, isn't he? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, but sometimes you just need to do that, though. You know, when you're going through a load of crap, you just need to have a night where you could just do something daft for a bit. He doesn't really do that. He's always the adult, isn't he?
But yeah, he's always the rock, but especially when it comes to Flick. My God. Faye here has got to spell it out to her that something's up with him. So she finally says, look, and asks him, doesn't she, what's wrong? Don't look, because I know there is. Finally.
Three people have told me that my husband's not okay.
Don't, because people are telling me. Now, he, to give him credit, okay, says, look, it's the baby thing. I told you I didn't want them, but I do, and this is a problem. Don't know where this leaves us, and yeah. So in the headlines, I was like, we're back on the merry-go-round. Flick's got horror on her face, thinking, oh my God. Now, what's next is interesting because we've got Tane now saying, but it doesn't matter. I've sobered up, and I'll live with it.
What he actually said was, I want kids, and this sucks. That was quite. There's no beating around the bush with that. This sucks. I'm not happy, isn't it? It's not. Oh, I'm a bit disappointed because that's what I was. This sucks. How do you get out of that?
Damning.
That's not I was drunk and didn't mean it. That was I was drunk and telling the truth because I was drunk.
Yeah, of course. But I mean, what I mean by when he's sobered up is he's like, okay, I can forget it. I'll do it. But that's not going to sit right with Flick. That's going to eat her up because she knows he's giving up something. And then she sort of comes back to him and says, let's do it. Let's have kids. I came around about the other stuff. Let's just do it. And once we got married, I was committed to it. I'm thinking, right, well, where were you? Because I don't think you were quite, you were jilting him at one point on the wedding day, but okay.
Yeah, and then she went and moved into a caravan for a bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's got a short memory, as I. Car crash, wait. And again, this.
Yeah, it is.
Exhaling with like, oh God, what can we even say about
I don't know what to feel about this story. I feel like it's going to rumble on next year, so maybe I need to save my energy. But at the moment, I'm just like, no, like this is a really bad decision to have a kid just because you're worried your husband's going to leave you. Yeah. Oh, I don't know who to blame on this one because Flick, for all her faults, she told him straight up at the beginning, I don't want kids. Before they even got married, I don't want kids. That's not where I see myself going. And I think, although Tane said, oh yeah, I get it, that's fine, I just want you. I don't believe him now. I think that he did go ahead with it thinking that he could change her mind, which makes me feel sick. And now he kind of has changed her mind by saying that this sucks.
Yeah, he's sort of guilted her into it, hasn't he?
Yeah.
Even if it's an unconscious thing he's done, she's ended up feeling so panicked about losing him, like you say, and guilty that he's got to give this up, that she's ended up surrendering it. And at the very least, we have a situation where they're both going to be thinking the other one doesn't want this. Like he's thinking, you know, she's doing this for me, and she's going to be thinking he knows that this isn't really what, and eventually this is going to destroy their marriage.
Yeah.
Like there's just no other ending sight here, is there?
It feels like this is it, make or break for me. You know, if they don't have kids, they're not going to stay together. But if they do have kids, it will be because she's doing it because she feels obliged to, and that's not going to make the marriage. Kids don't make the marriage stronger; they actually test you even more. So
it'll be on both of them at this stage, and will be on both of them if there ends up being children or a child stuck in this.
Exactly. Yeah. Bringing that whole new person into this is a bit toxic, isn't it? And also, I was thinking about it. The Parata men, they're not very good at staying alive.
Well, that's true, actually.
So is she going to end up having a kid and then being a single parent? Because his whole family have not got a good track record of staying alive.
Mind you, he's got a good karate kick.
He has. And he does cope well with the blood transfusion bedroom style thing, doesn't he? He's quite resilient, Artane, but still, not sure.
Watch this one, but yes, at the moment I'm a bit like, oh my god, I've got a headache with it. You know, like I can't believe it here, and heaven forbid, I'm just dreading what's coming next. Actually, right. Our season finale was jam-packed full of all this action. Justin and Leah's. You should be laughing.
I just loved it because I think there was I think Kirby said something like, "Have you heard from Justin and Leah?" And Leah was like, "No, but I don't want to anyway because they'll be having a really nice time." And then it went straight to them in this prison, covered in filth. It just made me. I was like, "What? Where is this?" Oh dear! I honestly thought I'd missed an episode.
Do you know? It just hit me like a train out of nowhere.
It was too funny. I was like, I literally paused it. I was like, "Hang on a minute! If I put tomorrow's episode on, what's going on?"
Right, look, let's not. I'm not going to pretend like we don't see here. We were a podcast. We're 6 weeks behind us. We knew they were in danger, right? They went on this weird radio competition holiday, right? However, I did not expect it to go down this way. I did not expect.
No one did.
I did not expect Theo to just mention their name and be like, "Oh yeah, not had a text off them for a while." Cut to them thinking. Stuck in a derelict factory, head going soot.
Oh, and then, I know, looking like a chimney sweep. It was so funny. I'm parched. I've got a dry throat, and I look like a chimney sweep. I look like an extra from Mary Poppins. What the hell? I'm just. Having away is nuts, right? But this was extra. Extra nuts.
Well, normally I'd be down for that. Look, okay, try not to make light of it. It's just the way it just came out of nowhere. It
was so funny.
Changed the pace for me. I was like, okay, where are you?
I dropped my fork.
Yeah.
I was like, what? I've got the wrong episode on. What? Oh dear.
3 by 5. 81. I know the number.
I know. There's no first look this week as well, and I've got a number. Yeah, look.
So
dear.
It's what we know so far.
Nothing.
Those pesky cult people are involved. We said on first look, I bet the cult are back. We were right about that. You know, that's something we didn't know. So they've been tricked somehow into going to this location because they drove up in the car last time we saw them of their own accord. So they've either been intercepted en route and brought here, or the cult are running a hotel somewhere. Somewhere.
I honestly think what happened is that they drove up to this derelict business park, factory, whatever this place is, that looks like it's been run down for 40 years. And they thought, doesn't look like a 5-star resort, but maybe it's one of those, hipster ones that's been converted from a derelict factory. So from the outside, it looks really scabby, but on the inside, it looks amazing. Let's go in and just have a look around, see if there's a reception. I'm sorry. What? If I drove up there, I'd just do a U-ing immediately, wouldn't you? Like, we've gone the wrong way. I wouldn't go in and have a look.
Yes. Lots of mustaches.
Would you like your beard trimming, sir? What? No, where's my hotel? I don't get it. Like you say, they must have been tricked to go in there, because you wouldn't turn up there and then get out the car, would you? You'd just be like, just do a U-turn. We've obviously gone down the wrong road or whatever. There's no hotel here. It's just an empty factory. What? How did they get in there? How did they get locked in that cell thing with the cell? Like, Justin's like banging on the cell door trying to get out, isn't he?
I've just got visions of them being like, at traffic lights or something in the car, thinking, going for a nice holiday, and then someone with a big crossbow.
Oh yes! Oh yeah, they have got crossbows, haven't they?
Crossbow beard.
Yeah. Okay.
They're old and loose, aren't they?
They've ambushed them. Oh no! One of them was lying in the road, like hurt, like pretending to be hurt, and they stop the car and get out, and they're going, "Oh, you're right. Have you been hit by a car? Are you okay?" And then the crossbow baldy come out of nowhere and go, "Get in the van," and then drive them off to the factory. That makes more sense.
Yeah, and that's a scene we could have done with seeing.
I'd like to see that, because otherwise I just think they've just turned up and gone inside and gone, well, maybe there's a hotel inside the derelict factory. Bizarre. Nobody knows where we are, and the cult people have left us to die. Right, that was like the first line that Leah said. I was like, so this is all the backstory we're getting.
That's a lot, yeah.
Okay. And now you're caught up.
I did appreciate you had to really take in the whole screen to find, to get this together. So I did appreciate the graffiti at the end. Near.
End is near. Yes, just in case you hadn't noticed, this is bad.
Thanks for that. It's 5 to 7.
Oh, dear.
Yeah. Honest to God, I'm laughing so much, but I know I'm not supposed to be.
It's not supposed to be. Is it supposed to be funny? I don't know, because I was laughing. It was funny.
Well, a lot of jeopardy here, right?
Yeah.
So getting serious. A lot of jeopardy. They need to get out of there. Leah needs a drink, bless her. It's been a few days. She's got a sore throat. She needs a savvy bee. She needs a glass of savvy bee. So she says, find a way out, because I've been hitting this door for 3 days and that's not worked. Scratching at this wall for 3 days and that's not worked.
And Leah's just been sat on the floor in the filth by the looks of her.
With her arms in the air.
Doing the worm on her nice clean jumper. She was filthy. It's all around the collar of her jumper. I was like, how?
Stop laughing. Anyway.
I'm sorry. It's hilarious.
Justin thinks, right, baby, that's fine. I'll climb this scaffolding.
He had to make it. He made like a construction of crap, didn't he?
Yeah, to reach this pole. And then I did like the shot where he just levitated.
Also, I love the fact that she kept saying, careful, Justin, careful. And I thought, if there's one thing that, when you're doing something really dangerous, the one thing you really need is someone telling you to be careful, because it always makes it more careful, I think.
Oh, you does that, don't they?
Careful. And then he went, I've got it. And he just banked it.
Levitated.
I loved it.
We need to get a clip of him levitating. Oh.
I'll get it. I'm on it. Oh dear. Careful.
So then shimmies. He's almost upside down like the old Spider-Man, and he's shimmying on this pole. Or he's probably there thinking, because honestly it was creaking more than my bathroom floorboards. Honest to God, thinking it doesn't sound right, does it?
No.
And he's there and he's strong, and I bet he's thinking, oh, it doesn't matter when they weigh 17 stone, don't we? That's it.
Oh dear.
Of course, creaking becomes a big gaping crash, and down he comes, Justin, crashing to the floor. I mean, he should have broke his back. Like, he's got steel, all sorts, all on him. Leah's wailing and flailing about, and manages amongst all this, in all her strength, to pull off this steel. just gets it in with great ease. And he's only got a couple of broken ribs. He's self-diagnosing whilst it's all a couple of broken ribs.
Well, he has got 2 doctor siblings, hasn't he? So maybe some of it rubbed off on him, maybe.
He knows when he feels one, yeah.
Yeah.
And then we're in this moment now where it seems like all is lost. No one's coming back for the cult have left him in there, like you do with on Sims when you played Sims and you used to lock people in the room and take the door away. Watch them wet themselves. It's a bit like that in there.
You just unlocked a memory.
You fall out with someone at school, so you put them in the pool and take the ladders out, don't you?
Oh, it's such an evil game. Brilliant. I love it. Yes. Yeah.
Love that on the Sim. Yeah.
They've pissed somebody off. Somebody that's playing whatever sim game we're in. They've pissed them right off.
Yeah. So, and it seems like they're all, they're stuck in there, and Justin's going to perish. And she's saying, "Don't go, don't close your eyes." It looks like he's slipping away. She pops the question.
She does. So he's definitely fucked now, isn't he?
He is, because we know, don't we?
She's the Black Widow of the Bay, as David said on Twitter. Oh, dear.
Yeah. Now, she resisted wedding before. Maybe she just needed him to crash from the sky, break a couple of ribs.
Yeah, maybe she thought, if you're going to die anyway, I might as well just lift the curse.
Might as well get your pension. Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know.
What's
So
going on?
weird.
Is she just panicking that he's going to die?
I think she's trying to get him to stay awake, isn't she? And don't give him something to live for, I guess. Don't die on me, because when we get out of here, we're going to get married. We're going to think about that. You kind of have to keep them talking and keep them thinking about the future, don't you? I've never been in that situation, but I think that's what I would have to do.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. We're having lasagna for tea tomorrow.
I know. And mine would be married. Mine would be like, right, we need to. We've got to do a big shop on Saturday, and then.
And I've ordered the chocolate cake. You don't want to miss it.
I've already bought you advent calendar. You don't want that to go to waste. I'm going to eat it myself. So.
Oh dear.
You just have to come up with all kinds of crap, I think, just to keep them going. But there we go.
All this, the wooden step ladder in the corner.
I'm sorry, they've been there for days. Okay, sorry. You, for some reason, you wake up in a deserted factory, locked in.
Yeah.
You've been there for days. What have you been doing with your time in the days that you've been locked in there?
Other than recording podcasts back to definitely been looking for a way out. I know that much.
Yeah, do you reckon? You reckon you would have looked at the walls, the corners of the room? Yeah, tried all the doors, looked up, tried to work out how to climb.
Ladder there leads somewhere.
Would you have seen the ladder on the wall before trying to, construct a temporary platform?
Yeah. Yeah, it was creaking like the bathroom floor. Yeah.
I couldn't believe that. And then she's going, literally rubbing it in his face, climbing up the wall, not had to construct it herself. It's just, a ladder attached to a wall. And she's going, oh, Justin, I'm climbing up here. And I can see daylight, Justin. I was like, the poor guy.
Did she say that? I thought she was like, I can see the light. I thought, oh gosh, she's given up now.
Oh no. I was like, the poor lad. Like, he's dying on the floor because he tried to climb up the hard way and you're going, oh, I'm at the top.
Look, I know we're laughing, but it was good. I did enjoy it.
I enjoyed it, but oh my God, it's just, my face has ached from laughing. It's been so funny. Bless him. I love it. It's so camp and so over the top and so like ridiculous.
Yeah, it's good. I mean, this is all the stuff I like. I quite like random like this, where there's loads of peril, but no peril at all. Then it looks like, did you see the trailer for when we come back in January?
Yes. Yes. It looks like she's lying on the road. Something.
Barrages and all sorts. Oh well, that's what she needs a savvy bee.
She does, desperately, yeah. If only they'd seen that ladder on day one, they'd have been out of there.
I know.
Why did it take 3 days to get to the other side of the room and go, there's a ladder?
It's a bit of Kirby's launch party by now.
Oh, God.
Do you not think still sent flowers, though? Do the cult know? Have they been following like this? Do the cult know things that, you know what I mean? Have they been watching them?
Oh, you mean the Kirby thing?
Yeah, well, she had some flowers off Justin and Leah.
Yeah, they mentioned that before they left. Justin said, yeah, it was at the coffee cart last week when they were talking to Maz, and Maz was going, yeah, go for it, I'll be fine. And then Justin said something like, oh, we're going to have to miss Kirby's launch. And then Leah said, oh, we'll send her some flowers. And he goes, oh, you're good.
Like, right, okay.
Yeah. It was a very quick one. But I'd seen that episode 3 times, so it was stuck in my brain.
Yeah, okay. Well, in that case, that's very uninteresting, and we'll just scrap that point. Roll on 2024.
But I think they must have been keeping tabs on them, because, you know, to contact Justin and say, because I don't know, I think I'd have contacted Leah, but then she wouldn't have fallen for it. Justin's stupid enough to go, oh, there's a radio show that wants to give me a holiday because I've got a business that's been shut for an entire year and they want to reward me as a local businessman. I don't think Leah would have fallen for that, actually, if they'd phoned her and said, oh, because you own the diner, we want to give you a holiday. I think she would have wanted more information. I think they're right to contact him, even though he hasn't been in business for since January. But they must be keeping tabs on them, mustn't they? They must be. And also, if they're keeping tabs on Justin and Leah, what's going on with Andrew? You know what I mean?
Well, this was another thing I was going to mention. Like, have they also got Andrew somewhere and his sister?
Yeah, you know, are they in the next room along? Oh my God, Si, I know we keep banging on about it, but it's the final Your Say of the Bay for 2023. The final one. What?
If we keep saying it, it'll actually be true.
Oh no! How can it be the last Your Say on the Bay? We've only done this segment in 2023, haven't we? I remember us talking about this on the break last year. We were talking about what we're going to do for next year. You know, we moved First Look out of the main episode and put that as a separate episode on a Sunday night. And then we thought, what can we put in its place? And you came up with this, and then took us ages to pick the name, didn't it, for it? So, like, what can we call it? That was a year ago.
Back now. God.
That was a year ago. I can't believe that, because we were talking. What were the other things we came up with for Your Say on the Bay? I think we had a few other names that we're going to call it, weren't we? Was it Diner Talk or something? And
back and forth for weeks, weren't we? Oh.
Yeah, and we were like, we need one that rhymes.
We speak about it for days, and then I'd randomly verbal vomit names at you. I was talking about this.
No, I'd wake up in the morning and I'd have like 15 texts, and I'd be like, oh, okay, is this Your Say on the Bay, or is this just random words?
Most best ideas happen at 2 a.m.
So funny. But that was a year ago. I can't believe it. And this time, what you go? What were you going to say?
responded to it. Like, it's been
Yeah,
good.
it's been a really good way of getting to talk to people and hear what they think. I've really enjoyed the tweet along this year because of Your Say on the Bay, and going on other parts of social media and reading the comments and hearing what people think about it, because it's not just about us, it's not just about what we think. So it has been really good. I think it's been a success. Good segment. Well done.
Yeah.
So for the last time in 2023, I've been digging through social meds. Social meds. Social meds. I'm gonna have to remember to say that next year because I'm gonna forget over the break. Social meds. I've been reading your comments. I've been looking at your reactions from everybody that's watched Home and Away in the UK this week in the season finale week of 2023, and I'm going to read some out to you. So in the meantime, you know the drill, because we are on everything. We're on Facebook, Instagram, Threads, YouTube, Twitter. We do the tweet along, which we won't be doing after this week, unfortunately, but we'll be back in January doing the tweet along when the show comes back. So hopefully it will still be on 6:30 p.m. Monday to Friday on 5 Star in the UK, and they haven't messed it up, but that's where we'll be. That's where we'll be. Come and find us, come and talk to us. And in the meantime, while we're in the break, we're going to be, as we said at the beginning of the main episode, we're going to be plotting our murder mystery event. So we're not going away completely. We will be back.
Some old ones to keep us company as well.
There
I
are,
suppose.
yeah. There's been a few adverts, isn't there? I think we've seen Mr. Stewart, Irene, and Leah, I think, so far, telling us about the Classicettes next week. I don't actually know which episodes they are. They just keep being very vague, saying Christmases, marriages, drama. I don't know if it's going to be the same ones that we had last year. I hope they're not, because I want different ones.
Yeah. It was a bit. Some of the choices last year were a bit odd. So let's hope.
I think we are probably going to get the same ones again, but I'll try and be optimistic and hope they're different, but we'll see. So, okay, I've got a couple of topics for you. And the first topic tonight is WTF is going on with Luston? Because as we just said on the main episode, we were baffled because there was that scene where I think it was Theo and Kirby at the coffee cart, and they talk about the launch of her single, and then she just goes, "Oh, have you heard from Justin and Leah? How are they getting on?" And he goes, "Oh, no, actually, but they probably have the time of their life, so I don't want to hear about it." And there were a few other bits in this week and a few of the episodes where John said, "Oh, I bet Justin and Leah were having a great time," and then we went over to what they were actually doing. There were a few of these cutscenes, weren't there, where they mentioned their names, and then we saw them, like we said in the main episode, in this abandoned factory looking like Victorian chimney sweeps randomly. And we were confused because there was no backstory to this, and a lot of other people were confused as well. So that's predominantly what people have been talking about on the old social medias. So we weren't the only ones that were confused. There were a lot of comments on Twitter and Facebook and other places saying, "Have I missed an episode?" Julie on on Twitter said, "Have I missed an episode? Last time I saw Justin and Leah, they were driving off in the car. How did they end up in that warehouse?" And then it's a good question.
I just keep seeing a crossbow every time we ask that question.
Oh no, Crossbow Baldy, he's back. And then Farney said, "1 minute you're winning a holiday, the next, and without any explanation, you're in a deserted yogurt factory, scaling the walls, looking like a Victorian sweep." True. Everyone's saying the same thing. It's so funny. Karen on Facebook said, "What's happened with Leah and Justin? Seems to have missed the reason why they are now trapped in some building." And Carol said, "Yeah, I thought I'd missed an episode." And someone else has said, "Yeah, me too. How did they get in that derelict building? Weren't they on the way to the holiday that they won?" So lots of people are just confused. What's up with the story here, says Steve. How does Justin and Leah go from driving off in his car to locked in a warehouse? And then Jackie says, "How many times can these people be kidnapped?" You got a point, Jackie. I think it's once every November, actually.
Yeah, whenever a cliffhanger calls for it.
This happened to Leah last November, didn't it? And Justin actually had to help rescue them.
If we're gonna have a kidnap off, I prefer last year.
Yes, the Heather one was good.
It was fit.
Yeah, because we saw it all. I think that's the difference as well. We saw the whole thing. We saw the planning. We saw her take Marilyn.
Arrive at the destination.
Yeah, and then send the invites out. You know, they got all those ominous email invites. You know, come here for lunch. You know, afternoon with Heather as an apology or whatever it was. These people need to stop RSVPing to these events because they don't end well, do they? Don't go on holiday. Don't go to the afternoon tea. You're just going to get kidnapped. Is that the moral of the story?
Charity event. There's organic phosphate in the in the
air.
Mm.
Yeah. Just stay at home and have a pizza from Salt. There you go. Yeah. It's a lot safer, isn't it? It's a lot safer. And you'll get muscles like Tane, because that's what he does.
Health is a rockin'. Yeah, I think we all share the same questions, guys.
Mm-hmm.
How did they get there? There is a massive piece of this missing. Like, they went from driving off out of the bay, to being stuck there. What happened in between? And I think unless we have an explanation from one of them, maybe it'll come when they are at safety and are having to tell the police how they got there. Like we were talking about, you know, what does this mean for Andrew? Is he safe? Will we find out? Like, it's a huge gaping hole void that seems to have sucked in any detail, and we are left with where they've ended up and trying to escape, and it's, well, you know,
it's confusing, isn't it? Yeah,
I'm not surprised this is sort of a big theme online.
And it's unfortunate, really, because all of the comments are about the bits that we're not seeing, and there aren't that many comments on the bits that we are seeing, and I think that's a shame, really, because we should be talking about the fact that they're trapped there, and the fact that Justin's fallen, and the fact that she's asked him to marry him. You know, those are the things we should be talking about. But we're too busy talking about the fact that, you know, we don't know how they got there. We're told the cults got them, but we don't understand how. You know, we're talking about that, which it's kind of a shame that we're talking about the storyline in terms of what we don't know rather than what's actually happening on screen, I think. I don't know whether that was on purpose. I mean, maybe the screenwriters have done this on purpose. I don't know.
Maybe. I mean, it's early days. You know, let's have a bit of faith. I know, like, faith has been eroded sometimes, but let's have faith that some of those gaps will be filled in, and it will make sense in the new year. You know.
Yeah.
Is my only advice, really. Don't drive yourself mad. Think about it. Just watch it.
Just Jenny it. We're going to have to massively Jenny this, I think. Yes. And David said, well, this is what happens when you shack up with the Black Widow of Summer Bay.
Absolutely, David. Absolutely.
Which was actually, David tweeted this before Leah asked Justin to marry her. So it was foreshadowing there, David, because I think Justin was reasonably safe when he hadn't married Leah and they were just cohabiting. But now that she's popped the question, I wonder whether that has sealed his fate. I don't know. I don't know. Someone from I keep saying Instagram, someone from Twitter replied to David, someone called Tim, and said, to be fair, I'd marry her and accept the risk. And David said, rather you than me, I value my life too much. So there we go.
I think I'm with it.
I don't know. I think it'd be quite nice to be married to Leah. You know, got all that cake from the diner, all that moussaka. I think it'd be all right. And she'd nag me a bit, but I could put up with that.
6 to 8 weeks. When you'd be getting, squeaky bum time come November, and there needs to be a season clover.
That's true. I'd just go off to Cyprus on my own, like she does every now and again. Oh dear. She's not had it all bad. I mean, she started the year, didn't she? She started the year being kidnapped. We're laughing because this time last year she was kidnapped by Heather. She started the year that way. Then at some point she got impaled, but then she had an absolutely remarkable recovery, and 2 weeks later she was jetting off to Cyprus. So she hasn't had it all bad this year. She had a nice holiday at one point.
Shouts and she bless her. Yeah.
Deary me. Justin's had it worse than Leo, I think, this year. But there we go. Okay. My next topic is Trouble and Strife, the Promised Wife.
Oh, God.
AKA Marley's a wimp. Not me saying it. Internet's piled on Marley, unfortunately. Oh dear. Some of these comments are harsh. Are you ready?
I'm sitting up.
Okay, so over to Facebook. Tash says, Marley's so weak, can't stand up for himself. Can he come? Can he come on? He's. I can't read this. It's actually.
What? Can he come well?
It's actually written in a way that I'm finding hard to read. Okay. Over on Facebook, Tash says, Marley is so weak and can't stand up for himself. Come on, mate. Rose obviously loves you so very much you can't break her heart, and it wouldn't be right to. If I'm honest, Rose, she blows hot and cold as well all the time, but that's the way it goes. That's quite a lot of information there, Tash. But yeah basically, Marley needs to stand up for himself. He obviously does like this woman, and he just needs to tell her and reassure her, is what I'm getting from that, I think.
Not sure. I'm not sure.
Well, Avril's less wordy comment is Marley is such a wuss.
He is.
Agree with that? Yeah.
Well, we said it, didn't we? He's letting his mum tell him what to do.
Yeah.
He's not kicking this woman to the curb. She's able to, on her own, travel all down the coast and start playing games. He needs to tell her to rack off. If he wants Rose, and if he wants to be with it, he needs to man up and tell Rose.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, in the words of Irene, chuff off.
Chuff off, yeah. Absolutely.
Chuff off, Zara, whatever your name is. It's a good clip, that. I've kept that forever. Pat has been shouting at the screen. I'm shouting at the screen, Marley, tell her it's Rose you want. I can't believe this storyline. Sue says he's a mummy's boy. Grow a pair, make your mind up.
Yes, Suze. I'm with you.
I've got ABBA in my head now. Thank you, Sue. Joe says he needs to tell her to go. He's with Rose now. No need for her to be there. Grow a pair, Marley. Tell her to leave. Lots of things about Marley need to grow a pair.
Wrong, are they? Come on.
Sorry, cough again. And then there's a lot of people saying that they like Rose and Marley together. So Elaine saying stay with Rose. Helen saying he should be with Rose. They make a great couple. Jeanette saying she needs to go. Zara needs to go. She can just waltz back when she thinks, when she feels like it. He's moved on. He's with Rose, and it sounds like Mummy has brought her there. So I think Jeanette's agreeing with you that this is Marley's mum pulling the strings.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't comprehend it. I can't. He's not 15. I'm struggling. I'm struggling with it. I really am.
Yeah. Yes, definitely.
It's just a little extreme.
Maggie says it's been 5 years and she expected him to wait for her, stay with Rose and send her packing. Yeah. It's got a good point. 5 years is such a long time to expect someone to stay there, and then to say to Xander, like, "Oh, I finished uni 6 months ago. What have you been doing since then? Like, why now?" It's because she's heard that he's taken.
I tell you what else has just dawned on me as well. She didn't know about Rose being a copper. Xander had to tell her.
Oh yeah.
And if she's so close to the family, like she says she is, they'd have mentioned that.
Well, seeing as it was such a big deal,
yeah,
you would imagine so. Yeah.
I think she's a game player, me.
Yeah, I just don't understand it. Maybe maybe what she's saying about how, I babysit your sister's kids and I see your family all the time and blah, blah, blah. I just don't know whether we should believe it or not. Whether maybe it's like exaggeration. She's not actually that close to them all. Because if she was,
ballot.
How long has he been in the Bay? A year? When did Dean and Ziggy leave? They left in January, didn't they? So
yeah.
And okay, she came back 6 months ago. So feasibly, she's been back 6 months and hanging out with his family. But even then, like, why is it taking her so long to come and see him? He's been here a year.
Load
It's
of tosh.
It's because she's found out he's got a girlfriend, isn't it? Oh, he's
Yeah.
moved on. Oh.
Yeah. You want him now, I can't have him.
Yeah, I think it is that. If he was single, would she come running? I don't know whether she would. Very strange. Iona says Xander's going to hit the roof if he hurts Rose. Oh dear.
Mhm.
We've seen Angry Xander before, haven't we?
When did we see Angry Xander?
When, you know, he was struggling with somebody died and he got a tattoo or something, and he was punching walls. Do you remember?
Oh yes, yeah, in his bedroom. You know,
Angry music.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Oh God.
It was like one episode and then it never happened again. But he did go to the dark side for about 25 minutes, didn't he? And then he got a tattoo and it was all fine again. So yeah. And Xander's quite protective. I mean, we talked about this before, haven't we? Xander and Rose's relationship together is a little bit more than brother and sister sometimes. He's quite protective over her, and yeah. You've hurt my sister.
He just seemed to be involved, doesn't he? So yeah, that is a very strong possibility. We could be heading that way.
Yeah, Iona, you might be right about that one, I think. Yes, basically everyone's slagging him off, calling him a wimp, calling him a wuss. And there's another comment from a different Sue that says, I don't understand why he isn't shutting her down straight away. He should have been honest with her from the start, told her that he loves Rose and his promised wife has no chance. That's it. That's all he needs to do, isn't it? Just be honest.
Of course he does. So, but why is he not? Why is he keeping his options open? In which case, I'm not down for this, Mark. Do you know what I mean? Like,
I think he's just a wimp. If he can't stand up to his mum and he can't stand up to his promised wife, you know.
Who can? Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I just think he's a wimp. He just seems to be. Maybe we keep hearing about the fact that he grew up with all these women, you know, all these sisters and stuff, and he was the baby of the family. Maybe he's used to, you know, saying yes to everybody that's sort of mothering him, and he doesn't know how to stand up on his own 2 feet. You know, it took him 2 months, was it, to tell his mum that he'd moved?
That's
he'd moved
true.
to the Bay. And he was like getting his sister to lie for him, wasn't she? And oh yeah, I saw Marley in the supermarket. Yeah, he's doing fine.
That's very true, actually.
He's a wimp. He doesn't like confrontation, and he can't stand up for himself, can he? I think that's what I'm taking away from what's happened, and everybody else seems to be saying the same thing, that he's just a bit of a wimp, needs to grow up here. Oh dear. Oh, Marley. Lots of people talking about your manhood, unfortunately, on the internet. Not a good thing. What else have we got to talk about? So I did put a tweet out because I said we were doing the last Your Sail the Bay of 2023, and I said, if you want to get stuff off your chest, now's your only chance. Now's your time. So we've not had that many replies because it's only been a few minutes, really, but we've had a few. So Michelle and Julie have both said quite similar things because I'd asked, what did you think of 2023, and is there anything you want to see in 2024? And Michelle and Julie have both said that they want someone to come along and make Marilyn happy, you know, a love interest for Marilyn. So Julie's actually saying bring back Adam, and Michelle's just saying give Maz some happiness, she deserves it. And then Michelle, controversially, has said that she wants to see Mick back for Irene. You remember the old criminal
lamp to the head?
Yeah, the one that Irene nearly murdered with a lamp. So it's a very controversial, Michelle, that you want Mick. I mean, he's a rapist who his mother Irene tried to murder. I don't know how they'd write him back in off of that, but it's Home and Away, so it's very possible, isn't it?
Yeah, I think they'd have to give him an ankle tag, wouldn't they?
Yeah. They'd have to sort of say he's been off to prison and he's all right now.
Yeah, and he'd have to be home by 9.
Yeah, it'd be an interesting one. So yeah, maybe that's it. Maybe next year, adding that to the predictions that we've already talked about, maybe it's Marilyn having a love interest. Be interesting to see, because Marilyn's had quite a lot of stories this year, hasn't she? She had the Heather storyline, and she's had the Stunning Organics one as well.
Great,
So
bless her.
do you think Marilyn will be a big character in 2024 as well, or do you think she'll be more of a side character?
I think we're definitely going to start off with some more Irene, aren't we?
Yeah.
Final, she's been arrested, so I think Irene's going to take the baton.
Yeah. Yes, it is looking that way, isn't it? Yeah, and obviously with Justin and Leah, whatever happens with them, that's going to be kicking off next year as well. So, yeah, I don't know about Marilyn, but I think that would be nice to see.
Right, so that is the end of Coastal News for 2023.
Yes. Ooh.
Thank you so much, Sophie. What a year. I've thoroughly enjoyed the year. I really have. I think it's been blown by in a flash, and that is a good thing.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
It's got so fast. We have been so busy on the podcast. The most episodes we've ever recorded. I can only imagine what that Spotify countdown at the end of the year does with how many hours you've recorded. You've recorded.
Oh yes, yeah.
Imagine what he's going to say this year. We have thoroughly enjoyed it, and what has been the best thing of it all is the listeners, getting involved in the conversation. I think that's made it for me.
Yeah.
I'm sure it has for you too.
Yeah, absolutely.
So just sitting on here and chit-chatting every week about Home and Away with you.
It's the best job. It's the best job.
So are we ready to do it all again?
Absolutely, yes. I mean, I'm looking forward to the break, but I'm also itching to come back and talk about 2024. Yeah.
Look, the show is taking a rest over the new year. So are we. So we'll have a few weeks off over the December period, and we'll be back in January as the show is back, ready and raring to go with your weekly episode companion like we always have done. I just want to thank you all for getting in touch and listening this year. It's been good fun, and we will see you next year, won't we?
Yeah, definitely.
Thank you for listening. We will be back with more episode discussion from Summer Bay soon. Until then, join the discussion online at Coastal News Pod.